welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kanyisi Lindungu for those of you that are new here, and for all my returning subscribers, welcome back guys. So today I'm starting a new series on my channel. I'd like to call this series Serial Saturdays. I know it's a little dark, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. I enjoy watching crime channels. I enjoy watching crime series, your Criminal Minds, your Law and Order, Bones, all of that. I enjoy watching that, and I also enjoy watching your investigation discovery, what used to be the crime channel. And so I wanted to bring a little bit of that into, you know, my channel. For a very long time I'd watch all these different crime stories, and it's mostly American and maybe British based. There was nothing African, there was nothing South African, there was nothing that was, you know, closer to home. So I was like, maybe I should do something that would you know, tell crime stories that are from here or around here, Africa as a continent, or South Africa. And yeah, so I've been doing my research, and a couple of stories have caught my eye, so I was like, why not share them with the world? I actually got this idea from Bailey Sarian. She is an American YouTuber. She does makeup, and then she also does this series called Murder Mystery and Makeup. So I really enjoyed that, and I was like, let me do a South African edition to that. So yeah, that's basically what this is. I hope that you guys enjoy it. It's not about the makeup, it's mostly about the story and me sharing the story with you, whatever, you know, was happening. A disclaimer though, these stories are not for the faint at hearts. There's a lot going on, and it has a lot of triggers, especially today's story. It has to do with rape. So if you're not comfortable watching, like, there are plenty of other videos that you can watch on my channel, but I do hope that you guys enjoy this little series that I'm bringing to my channel as much as I enjoy filming it. And today will be my first time, so yeah, we learn as we, you know, do everything. So everything that I use will be in the description box. I'm not going to mention anything that I'm using. It's mostly about the story. Okay, so let's get into it. Today's story is about Norman Afzal Simons. He was born in Cape Town, 12 January 1967. Sorry, need to get my facts straight. So Norman was a proper gent, guys. Like, I don't want to lie. His story seemed unexpected, but I think that's how it is for most serial killers and stuff. But yeah, he was a school teacher. Can you guys believe it? He was a school teacher. He was teaching grade 5 in a school in Mitchell's Plain. So, and he was like really respected in his community. You know, like how back then teachers were like, you know, very respected and loved by the community. Yeah, that was him. He even played classical music. He was regarded as a smart man because he also knew 7 different languages. He spoke 7 languages: English, Afrikaans, Xhosa, even French. So people regarded him as a smart young man in the community. They loved him and they respected him. So about his background, there's not much on Norman's upbringing, except for that there's a mention of older stepbrother. So his parents were not together, I guess, because he had a step sibling. And yeah, that's basically it. There's no mention of who raised him, how he was raised. But I mean, for him to become the man that he was, you know, a school teacher, well educated and everything, he must have had okay, I can't make an assumption on his upbringing. I really can't, because just because someone made something of themselves doesn't mean he had the easiest upbringing and all of that. But yeah, All right, so let us get into the actual crimes that Norman committed. So Norman would be later called the station strangler. um you guys will find out why he was that. That's his serial killer nickname. You know, like serial killers all get nicknames. His was the station strangler. um okay, his crimes was that he would rape and murder young boys between the ages of 9 and 14. So it was believed that he was gay. He was a gay man, and so he would rape these young boys between the ages of 9 and 14. So his first crime was committed in 1986. It was believed that it was committed in 1986. It's important to know that he didn't he was only convicted for one of the 22 children, the 22 young boys that he killed and he raped. He was only convicted for the one. So the other 21 is alleged. To this day, no one knows if he really did kill those and rape those boys. But evidence, you know, evidence shows that he did, but I guess the evidence is not enough. I don't know. It's just a lot. Because I mean, the law is not that easy. It's not, you know, like, oh, okay, he did it, so you're just gonna convict him of all 22 crimes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So his first victim was Jonathan. Guys, I'm gonna murder these names. Jonathan Clayson. He was 14 years old, and he lived in the Mitchell's Plain area, which I think it's like the Cape Flats, because they did say that he terrorized boys in the Cape Flats. This boy was found, and his body was found face down. So he was lying face down, his hands tied behind his back, and he was strangled to death. That's how he was killed. That's how most of the boys were killed. And it was found that most of the boys were killed with their own clothing, so like underwear and stuff. So it was pretty gruesome to see. I can imagine, even in my head as it plays, like your own underwear, and you know, you found in this compromising position. And so, you know, I'm not a psychologist or anything, so I can't be making up conclusions. But for me, I don't know, it seemed like, why would he put the kids upside down? I feel like there's a meaning to all of that. Maybe he was ashamed of being gay at the time. So, you know, like shame, when when you're shamed, you don't want to show your face and so forth. So I think maybe that was his, I don't know. This happens when you watch too much crime stories and everything, and Criminal Minds. You try to be a behavioral psychologist and you're not. But yeah. So between 1986 and 1988, there were 8 bodies found in the same position, same MO. I'll put like the definitions, like some of these things that, and you know, same MO: raped, sodomized, and strangled. So this was an ongoing case. People were scared for their lives around in Cape Town. Like, people didn't want to take their kids to school. People didn't want to, they didn't want their kids to play outside because there was this killer on the loose, and no one knew who it was. And you can imagine, if that was something that was happening now, how uneasy everyone would be. Like, you would be so uneasy. Like, darling, I wouldn't. I have a little brother. He's 11. So if something was like that was happening right now, like, I would honestly go with him to work. I wouldn't let him out of my sight. So yeah, a lot of these boys went missing. And I mean, because he was a teacher at the time, it was easy for children to be trusting of him. I think he did use that as a way to lure in these children. And I mean, these were young boys, it wasn't even adults. So he was a pedophile. He was definitely a pedophile because these are young boys. So you can imagine how it's tense out here. It's really tense. Parents were just scared. They had gangs looking for this man. Like, you know, he was honestly terrorizing the community. I mean, 9 bodies. There was a long pause between 1988 and 1992, and then the killing started again after 1992. I think after 92 they found 11 more bodies. By 1993 they had found 6 bodies. So from 92 to 93 he has killed 6 more kids. And by 94 there were 11 bodies found. So from the 6 to, so it was 5. So it was a, he wasn't stopping, and he definitely wasn't having long breaks between the kills. He was doing it as often as he could. So after 92 he from 1988, 1986 to 1988 he was killing, and then from 1986 to 1988 to 92 he had a long pause, meaning that they didn't find any bodies. Don't know, maybe he, I don't know what could be the reason for that. What could be the reason for that? I think I know what the reason for that could be. Let's go back to this young man's life. He alleges that his brother, his step brother, would rape and sodomize him when he was younger. So his brother was an alcoholic. He grew up to be an alcoholic, and he was murdered in 91. So maybe that was the reason for his but it was 1988 to 91. Okay, but still, maybe that's why he stopped a bit, because of his brother's murder. And you know how they say that, like, you know, sometimes the way that you're brought up, it molds you into the person that you are. So maybe he did what he did because of what his brother was doing to him. It's not an excuse. It's definitely not an excuse. But that's another way that behavioral psychologists try to, you know, they try to understand why serial killers and rapists and criminals as a whole do what they do, because of their upbringing, circumstances, you know. So yeah, can you imagine being a young boy at a time like that, just fearing for your life, and you don't even know who to trust, you don't even know who's doing all these things, and you know, life is expected to move on. You are expected to move on. And I mean, between that pause, people probably thought like, okay, it's safe now, he's gone, because he had a 4-year pause. So, you know, you would think that, okay, he's gone or what. But I mean, imagine, and then he comes back, and this time it's even worse. Guys, I wouldn't know what to do, honestly. You would want to leave that place, but you can't afford to. Well, not that you can't afford to, but your life is in a certain place. You can't just up and leave, you know. You can't just up and leave. And I don't know, okay, I don't know much about the Cape Flats back then. I don't know whether people had money, why people were put there. Was it working class, or what was going on? But it seemed like he was terrorizing a community of people, you know. And it seemed like his victims were colored young boys. So yeah, it was just scary to think about. It's just, it's crazy. Do you understand? It's ridiculous. So people were getting scared, people were growing weary, people were just, they were not having it. So Minister Hannes Kriel, at the time, he was the Minister of Law at the time. He even had a reward for anyone who could give out any information that could lead to the Strangler, Station Strangler Killer. And he was given that name because he was of course leaving the bodies of his victims around train stations, or yeah, he was leaving them around train stations, because his first victim was found in the close to the modern dam station in Belleville. So yeah, he was really terrorizing the community, because I mean, the minister had even taken out a reward for his any information that could lead to his arrest of 100. He first started with 100,000, but I mean, it no one came forth. 100,000 rand. Let me be clear. 100,000 rand, and still no one came forth. So then he increased it to 250,000 rands. I mean, clearly this guy was the most wanted guy in Cape Town, because 250,000 rand back then was not 250,000 rand now. I mean, 250,000 rand now is a lot, but imagine back then. His last victim was Elroy van Heerden. He was 9 years old, and he was found 27th January 1996, and 3 months later Norman was arrested. So he was basically the victim that led to his arrest. I didn't find anything, you know, like details on what exactly they found on Elroy that led to his arrest, that, you know, couldn't lead to his arrest for the other boys, because clearly it was something. There was something, but yeah, they only just mentioned that. And then he went to jail. He was arrested, and then he was taken out on bail. Don't ask me how. I mean, wow, like a whole bail for a murderer and a rapist, really. But I mean, you'll never understand these things, babes. If you try and understand them, your head will spin. So yeah, he was taken to jail and he was bailed out, but he had to be put in protective custody, because the community was like, no, we want to kill him. Like, if you guys are not going to take care of him, we're going to kill him. So he was then put under protective custody until his trial was done. And he tried to plead insanity, going to a psychiatric hospital, but I mean, it never works. It never works. And then and that's when the story about his brother raping him at a young age came out, because I guess he wanted to blame it on that, allegedly raping him. I guess he wanted to blame it on that why he was doing the things that he was doing. And I mean, people are different. We don't all deal with things the same way. I could get raped and deal with it a certain way, and you can get raped and deal with it in a certain way. But I mean, a whole killer, babe, like a whole rapist and killer, just doing to others what was done to you, I guess. Maybe I don't know what it made him feel. You know, I'm not in his mind or anything like that. So yeah, he just basically did that, and he tried to, you know, plead insanity, but that wasn't working or whatever. And so then he was convicted of murder and rape. He spent, or his sentencing was for 25 years for the murder and 10 years for the kidnapping. Yeah, I mean, there's that thing that he was, when he went to jail in 94, yeah, no, 93. So 25 years for the murder, so he was eligible to get out of jail. 93, 25 years from 93, last year, no, last year, 2017, he should have been out for the murder, and he can come out for the rape charge in 2030. He was gonna spend 35 years, so he can come out with the rape charge. I don't know when, because I don't know if it's like the rape charge is now also part of that 25 years, or they just gonna make it 25 plus 10 years. That the justice system is also a bit on crack when it comes to that. But yeah, so like this person could have been out of jail in 2017. And I mean, he was born in 1967, so 2017 he was like 40. 1967, in 2017 he was 40, 50, yeah. So I mean, 50 is not a bad age. He could have continued with his killings and whatnot, but luckily I think he's still in jail, I hope. To me, it's crazy that this person was only convicted for one out of the 22 murders, you know, and he was only sentenced for one. They tried to reopen the case, I think it was in 2005, or you know, but nothing came of it. He became Muslim in prison, but then converted back to being a Christian. And during his trial, it was, people noticed that he was calm, and like he didn't, he seemed, it seemed as if like he didn't understand the magnitude of what was going on or whatever. And he said that no, he was overcome with the calmness of God, so that's why he was acting the way he was acting and stuff. But I'm just saying that if you have changed, you now a Christian man and everything, why don't you be honest with yourself? Why don't you be honest with the world and say, you know what, I killed those 22 boys, just to give closure to the families, just so that they know. And I mean, if you are such a changed man, I think you would I mean, you're doing your time, just do your time and give families peace of mind, and you know, but and closure. But this is a serial killer we're talking about. He's not your average human, and he will definitely not do the things that you want him to do. He won't do things that your average human will do. He probably doesn't have any compassion. Does he have any regrets? I mean, I don't know, but I would think that if he did have any regrets, he would come out and say, you know what, I did kill those boys. Here they, this is where their bodies are, and okay, well, they did find the bodies, but you know, just to say, yeah, I did kill them, and you know, Lord knows if there aren't any more bodies. Maybe there's like more bodies of more missing boys at the time, but the police couldn't find them and everything like that. It's just a sad story. It's really just a sad story. I cannot imagine how scared those young boys were. You know, unfortunately, with some of these stories, because they did happen so long ago, things were not the same as they were now. You're not gonna get like the answers to every question you have. um and there's not a lot written about these men anyway, so like I tried to look for as much information as I could, but like you don't really get much, you don't find out like how he lured these children in. But I can imagine that these children knew and trusted him, and that's why they felt comfortable around him, to do whatever, follow him or go to his house or do whatever, you know. So I think that's a strong possibility that he did lure them in because of who he was in the community. With everything that has been said, everything that has been collected, and you we you ask yourself that now, is it nature or nurture? Is Simon's a murderer because of, and a rapist because of what happened to him as a young man, or he's just evil? Like he's just evil and he just wanted to, put other people through the hurt and the pain that he went through, or did he just feel like, okay, if you like men, this is how you go about it? But if maybe no, I don't know, if he was just raping and killing older men, yeah, I think that maybe it's just his reasoning would be that no, if you're gay, this is the best way you can find a man, and so forth. But he was targeting young boys, I wonder, like, I wonder uh, what he's doing, what he's thinking. I mean, it is so close to him. I hope he doesn't see this video one day and then come for me. Yeah, I hope he doesn't, try and come for me because, of this video. But I think by the time he leaves jail, he'll be in his 60s or whatever. But he can still kill me in his 60s. But yeah, I'm protected by the blood. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that, like, what is he thinking right now when he is in prison and living out this sentence of his? Is he sorry? Does he have any regrets, or he just can't wait until he leaves jail and does it again? Like, what is he thinking? And on top of that, like, where the families of the children that died, like, I can't imagine what they're going through without not having that closure, and knowing that this person will be free anytime soon. I mean, like, oh my god, like 35 years it's not long. It's really not long. And this person could be free while you're still alive, and it's just like, wow, really. And of course you never stop seeking justice, but the justice system is not, it's not simple. It's not easy to get someone to go to jail and stay in jail. It's really not. So it's a problem. It's a problem. I wouldn't want to go through something like that. If you're a serial killer out there, stop. Alright guys, so I am finally done with my video. I decided to finish the rest of my face off camera because the story wasn't long enough for me to have like a whole tutorial, me doing my whole face on camera. I tried to find as much information as I can on the story, and I really wanted to share it, so we just had to, make the video short. But hopefully as I do more stories, there'll be a lot more information to share with you guys and have better discussions with you guys. that is the story of Mr. Norman Afzal Simons, guys. Rapist, serial killer, you name it, he is it. Disgusting. But yeah, guys, I really hope that you guys did enjoy this video. I really enjoyed, doing my research on this guy, and I enjoyed making this video for you guys. If you guys have anyone in particular that you'd like me to, talk to you guys about, whether it's a serial killer, whether it's a rapist, any kind of criminals really, or any massacres, or anything that you guys would like to know about that has to do with extreme crime, let me know so that I can get into it and share with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.